A provision included in the FACT Act of 2003 gave the Federal Trade Commission the responsibility of creating a rule that would regulate the disposal of sensitive consumer report information and records. The resulting rule, known as the Disposal Rule, came into effect June 1, 2005. The first thing you need to know about the Disposal Rule is that a mortgage loan originator, this rule definitely applies to you and the entire staff of the office in which you work. Any business or even individual who uses consumer information in the course of business is subject to this rule. The rule was created in an effort to protect the privacy of consumer information and reduce the risk of fraud and identity theft. It requires businesses to take appropriate measures to dispose of sensitive information derived from consumer reports. Any business or individual who uses a consumer report for a business purpose is subject to the requirements of the Disposal Rule. The rule requires the proper disposal of information in consumer reports and records to protect against unauthorized access to or use of the information. The Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency, enforces the Disposal Rule. According to the FTC, the standard for the proper disposal of information derived from a consumer report is flexible and allows the organizations and individuals covered by the rule to determine what measures are reasonable based on the sensitivity of the information, the cost and benefits of different disposal methods, and changes in technology. The Disposal Rule applies to consumer reports or information derived from consumer reports. The Fair Credit Reporting Act defines the term consumer report to include information obtained from a consumer reporting company that is used or expected to be used in establishing a consumer's eligibility for credit, employment, or insurance, among other purposes. Credit reports and credit scores are consumer reports. So are reports businesses or individuals receive with information relating to employment background, check writing history, insurance claims, residential or tenant history, or medical history. Although the Disposal Rule applies to consumer reports and the information derived from consumer reports, the FTC encourages those who dispose of any records containing a consumer's personal or financial information to take similar protective measures. Let's take a look at what constitutes consumer information. Under the rule, the term includes any sort of record, paper, electronic, or otherwise, that is a consumer report or any way derived from a consumer report. Credit reports, credit scores, reports containing information about employment history, check writing history, or insurance claims are all consumer information. Reports are information that does not reveal the identity of individuals, such as blind data or polling information, is not considered consumer information. As mentioned, the Disposal Rule requires that any person who has contact with consumer information must properly dispose of such information by taking reasonable measures to protect against unauthorized access to or use of the information in connection with its disposal. It is up to the organizations themselves to determine what constitutes a reasonable measure. A provision included to ensure fairness for smaller businesses that may only require a single in-office shredder, whereas large corporations may employ an outside shredding company. Let's pause for a quick check for understanding scenario and question. A recently hired loan processor was going to great lengths to ensure that borrower personal information was not left lying around on his desk or near the copier. In fact, each night he made sure that the documents and notes he made on customers were disposed of in the trash, which subsequently made its way to the dumpsters out back. The local news channel was doing a broadcast on how easy it was to access personal information from companies. In fact, they had been dumpster diving behind the processor's office for a few weeks now. The processor's manager was really taken aback by the request in his lobby for a Channel 13 interview on their findings. This News at 6 was not the type of marketing the manager wanted for the company. So the question here is, what processes should be implemented in this broker's office immediately?